Hey everyone. In this video we're going to take a look at how to solve some different kinds of equations containing fractions. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find a common denominator for each of your fractional coefficients. That way in the second step when we multiply our entire equation by that constant coefficient, we'll be able to eliminate all of our denominators and be left with a simple equation without any fractions. Okay, after that, isolate your variable and solve just like we've done in some prior videos with our multi-step equations. So looking at this first example, the first thing I'd want to do is get a common denominator throughout my entire equation. I see that I have an x here without a coefficient, so we're going to put a 1 out front, and I have a 20, which would be 20 over 1. Any whole number can be written over 1. Okay, so between 5, 3, and 1, we're looking for a common denominator here. I'm going to want to create my denominator to be 15 in each of these. So in order to make a 5 a 15, I multiply by 3, and I do that on both the numerator and denominator. In order to make my 3 a 15, I would multiply by 5, again, numerator and denominator. And then to make a 1 and 2 a 15, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 15. Now we'll rewrite it with our new equation. So my first one is going to be 9x over 15 minus 5x over 15. And then my final here is 20 times 15. That's going to give me a 300 over 15 as well. So all I've done here so far is get a common denominator between all of my terms in my equation. Now this is the important part. What I'm doing now is I'm multiplying my entire equation by 15, and what that does is that gets rid of all of our denominators. So if you'd like, you can show the step as just crossing out the bottom, and we're just focused on what's happening up here. Alright, so I have a 9x minus 5x equals 300. I have like terms. 9x minus 5x is going to give me a 4x and 300. And then I divide by 4, and I get x equals 75. Okay, so again, get your common denominator, solve whatever you're left with on top, and get your x by itself. All right, let's take a look at one more. Okay, so we have a 3, 2, and a 4. So we can, again, work to get a common denominator between all three of these. We'll go with 12 here. Okay, so I can multiply a 3 by 4 to get a 12. I can multiply a 2 by 6 to get a 12, and I can multiply a 4 times 3 to get a 12. We'll rewrite our equation. 4x over 12 minus 6 over 12 equals 9 over 12. Okay, in this step, I'm technically multiplying my entire equation by 12, but we can just go ahead and cross off the bottom and deal with what is up here. So it becomes a two-step equation. 4x minus 6 equals 9. Can add 6 on both sides. Get 4x equals 15. And then I would divide by 4 on both sides, and you get x equals 15 over 4. So we get a fractional answer, which is okay. And that would be our final answer. You can leave that as a fraction. If you want, you can put it into a decimal, but preferably, even if it's an improper fraction, that's a correct answer. All right, so again, with solving for equations with fraction coefficients, you're going to make sure that you get your common denominator first, then multiply by that denominator to eliminate it, and then solve the resulting equation.